Hello, friends. I'm Leona Dooley, and this is Ebony, Ivy, and Thyme. Today, we're starting a meal that is going to knock you off your feet. This is my major grocery steal. And this entire meal started with something very simple. I had 3 huge chicken thighs that I found at the grocery for, get ready, $3.35. Yes, $3.35. Now, when you're shopping at the grocery, you have to make sure that you're checking out those manager specials and seeing what might be lurking there that you can serve your family. And not just one meal, you want to be able to plan maybe one or two. So tonight, we're going to take some of the chicken. There's some things that we're going to do to the thighs, and we're going to make a delicious chicken pot pie. Not your everyday chicken pot pie. This is going to be slamming good, and you're going to want to make it for your family. But here's the cool thing. We're not going to have to shop anything else because we've already purchased our $3 package of chicken thighs, and we're going to be able to get more than one meal from it. Now, the second thing is that I also had some cauliflower that was in the refrigerator. So we're going to use that cauliflower. We're going to do a few things with it, and we're going to make it absolutely special. So let's get started. Now tell me, what is the best grocery markdown or deal that you found recently? And share that with us down in the comments. This meal is starting with something very simple, those 3 huge chicken thighs. And you're thinking, that may not serve enough people, but we're going to develop some techniques so that we're able to put this meal together, serve it for a large number of people. And when you find a package like this of whether it's chicken thighs, whether it's pork, whether it's fish, whatever it may be, you want, first of all, to take advantage of the markdowns. You want to be able to be flexible with your meal planning, and you want to be able to shop opportunities. If you have a plan that's written down, but when you go to the grocery store, you find a deal you can't walk away from, then take advantage of the deal, because that's saying to you that you're not rigid, you're creative, and you're flexible. And it also says, I really don't have to do a lot of deciding. This speaks for me. You might wonder why the celery is in a cloth or a paper towel. And the reason for that is because when you store your celery in a damp cloth, it helps to keep it fresh and it allows it to last for a very long time and to stay flavorful because it controls the moisture and it prevents it from drying out. Now, who wants limpy celery? No one. And I don't even want it when I'm putting it into a dish. I want it to retain its moisture. I want it to retain its firmness. Think of our kitchen cloth acting like a moisture blanket. It's protecting the celery from the drying effects of the fridge air while it's still allowing the celery to breathe. And that's another reason why you're going to see that it's more popular to store your celery like this, and it's very effective. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to build some flavor layers, and we're going to do it with the chicken. And so what we're doing is that we're cooking the chicken first, of course, but we're going to cook the skin first. So we're going to take the skin off the chicken. We're also going to remove the bone, because even if we were making bone broth, then of course we would leave the bone on. But we're going to make this chicken dish, and we're not really going to need the bone. So we're going to remove the bones and save them for that special day that we decide to do chicken broth. And so we're going to we're going to cook the skin first, get it nice and crispy, like chicharrones. And we're going to cook it first. We're going to get them crispy. We're going to render that natural fat. Then we don't have to add any additional oil. Now, sometimes we're learning that how we cook matters as much as what we cook. Now, it's important to build our flavor layers. It's important to season the proteins first, and we're keeping it simple this time because, you don't have to have 47, 50 different seasonings in your pantry. You can keep it simple with salt, pepper, garlic, onion powder. That's just a foundational homemaking flavor system. And that's the reason why I developed my house seasoning. Now you notice I left the salt out of my house seasoning, which is just pepper, garlic, and onion powder. And the reason for that is because very often we have people in our family who are salt sensitive, and we also have some people who just love the salt. So depending upon what it is that we're preparing, we will have to adjust the salt accordingly. So that's the reason why it's out of the mix. But make sure that you season those proteins well. Make sure that you're using natural fat when you can. Whether if you don't have chicken skin on your particular chicken deal, then of course you're going to use an olive oil or an avocado oil or some natural oil. everyone has their favorite flavor profile. Which one is yours? Put it down in the comments. Now, you might have wondered why I said leave the phyllo dough at room temperature when normally we would have kept it in the refrigerator. But here's the thing. I need for this phyllo dough to stretch because the pie plate that I'm using is rather large, and I need to be able to stretch that dough all the way across the top and have some extra over the side. You notice that we added thyme to it because I wanted that additional flavor and also wanted the smell of thyme when it came out of the oven. Now, once we brush the top of this pie with the egg wash and put it into the oven, you're going to be amazed at how beautiful this pie will come out. Also, don't forget to make this crust look like something that you made from scratch. So that's the reason why I'm taking a moment and just kind of zhuzhing it up before I add the egg wash. Baking potatoes are always a good option to have in your pantry. And when you have them, you don't want to forget that they're there because of the fact that they're a great bulk builder and you can prepare them so many different ways. I had two, and I decided that I didn't want to chop them up or cube them up or use them another way. And so, because of that, I thought, well, this would be a great night to have baked potatoes. I could put them in the oven and walk away. But we're not going to have just everyday baked potatoes because we're going to do something special with these baked potatoes that you may not have even thought about. And I love cauliflower. Now, that may not be your favorite. You may want your bowl to have broccoli, but we had cauliflower, and that's what we're going to be cooking tonight. A real life meal with baked potatoes, cauliflower, and a special addition. We're going to roast the cauliflower. And I have the oven set on actually 475. And that's pretty hot for my oven. So I'm going to let this cauliflower brown, get a little nice little brown sides to it. I'll come back, give it a little shake, and roast it a little bit longer. Now, we are not cooking this cauliflower until it's mush. It's just going to get toasty on the outside because that's going to add some additional flavor. You'll notice that in the pot that I added in about 2 cups of milk. And you could use milk or cream, it doesn't matter, and a stick of butter. And I've allowed that to come to temperature. I want it to be pretty warm, not bubbling, but warm. And from there, I'm going to add some cheese until I get a nice, creamy, cheesy sauce. Now, what you see is predominantly cheddar cheese. You can use whatever kind of cheese that you have. It can be from Velveeta to, and sometimes if I have Velveeta, I will add Velveeta a little bit into the pot just to make sure that I've got a good creamy mixture, because what we're making is our homemade cheese sauce that we're going to put over our roasted cauliflower and our baked potato. Friends, we're cooking real life meals. And with those real life meals, we want to be able to let go of the rigid winter routines. We want to be able to take advantage of the outdoors and enjoy the warmer weather. We want to make our rhythms a little more flexible and simplify our evenings and especially our cooking. So, I hope you have enjoyed today, and I hope you will come back to the kitchen because this is where we're preparing delicious meals and we're doing it for our family. We want a peaceful home and we want delicious meals served around the table.